Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I just kind of wanted to chat about my language goals for 2020. I know that last year, I don't think I even made a video about my language goals back then, because last year I just didn't really have very specific goals for like the whole year when it comes to languages, but last year that was mostly because I was just very busy, and I generally just for languages I find it much harder to set goals for the entire year, because usually I do most of my language learning during the summer anyway, and then I just kind of wanted to do what I feel like doing at that moment. But I think that coming semester I'm going to have a little bit more time for language learning, which is great, honestly. And I'm just really excited about language learning again, so I set some goals, I wrote some down in my bullet journal, but they feel a bit random. They were just kind of some of the first goals that came to mind, I guess, so it's not very organised and not very well thought out, I guess, but these are just something I'm excited to do this year when it comes to languages, I guess. And I also want to show you this thing, by the way. With some of my friends we did a sort of a secret Santa thing, and my friend Nicole, she had to make something for me, because we didn't really buy any presents, we just made something for the other person, and my friend Nicole made me a kind of a calendar thingy, which is really lovely. And what she did is every month is in a different language, so January is obviously English, but then there's quite a lot of different languages. February is in French, then Dutch, what's the next one again? Japanese, Italian, Swedish, Spanish, Chinese, Russian. Then I think the next one was Greek. Yeah, Greek and German, and then English again on the back. And she suggested that maybe I could for every day of the month I could maybe learn one word in the language of that month, and I think that's actually a really cool idea, so I think I'm going to use this calendar that way. I haven't started using it, so I need to catch up a bit, but I think it's a really lovely idea, because I do have my bullet journal for keeping track of my year, but I don't often use calendars, but I think it's a really cool idea to use it for language learning, especially because you hang it up, you're going to see those words the whole month, so that's going to be really cool to you'll automatically be kind of reminded of those words, so I think that's going to be really fun to do. And then I kind of wrote down a bunch of goals that have to do with textbooks, and I always write a lot of goals for textbooks, but I haven't really made a lot of progress with any of my textbooks the last 2 years almost, I think. And I just realised after last semester I took Swedish classes again, and I suddenly felt like I was actually improving again, and I think I was just kind of stuck with Swedish without actually having realised that I was stuck, and kind of frustrated. I didn't feel like I just wasn't really reaching any of my Swedish goals, but I don't know, I wasn't really aware that I was stuck, but I was, and I only noticed it when I started to notice that I really was making improvements again. So I'm not really sure that I'm not gonna have any issues with studying in my textbook this year, but I'm gonna try again, and I'm gonna set myself quite low goals when it comes to my textbook, because I think it's the actual studying isn't once I open the book I usually do actually study and it's fine, but just getting to the point of even opening my textbook, I just don't do it. And I guess just because even before I start I just already kind of feel oh, this is not gonna be helpful, or I don't know, but I feel better about my Swedish studies again, so I'm gonna try. And I wrote down that I want to do I wrote down that I want to do 5 chapters from this textbook, and that's not that much. 5 chapters should be doable, and I just want to make a start in it again. It's not really that important, honestly, how much I do. I just want to work in this book again and to really continue to feel like I'm making progress. Then I also wrote down some other goals for like my textbooks. I would like to do 6 chapters from my Japanese from Zero 2 book. I think like Japanese, I've never really felt like I was stuck, but I feel like just being stuck with Swedish has kind of influenced my Japanese studies as well, like just textbook studying in general. Like I used to really love that, but like, since I got stuck, it's just been kind of weird, and I've had trouble like working in all my textbooks. So I'm hoping now that like Swedish is better again, I'm hoping that's also going to be the case for other languages. So I would like to continue my Japanese from Zero 2 books and just do 6 chapters, because like the first book I finished it in a couple of weeks, but somehow I've had the second book for more than 2 years and I still haven't finished it. So I would like to change that. And also for my birthday I got Korean from Zero, the first book. So I am very excited to make start in that one, and for that one I just literally wrote down that I want to start it. That's my goal. Like I just want to open it and get started, and it's not really important how far I get, but my, like as I said, my issue is kind of just getting started sometimes. And then my last like textbook goal is to make 5 chapters from my German tutor book. Again, not that much, but I just want to get started again. So far this year I have actually been like studying from books again, but not for any of those languages that I just mentioned, because I went to my first actually I found this book which I started. It's called Practice Your French, Easy Exercises and Fun Crossword Puzzles. So it's mostly I've only done a couple so far, but it's like very short exercise. You're supposed to do 1 a day, and it's quite fun. I just got really excited about this one again, and I've actually started it already. And then I went to my library and I looked at the language section, and they have quite a few language books actually, but also I found this like French book, because I don't actually have like a very good French book. I just have a very crappy book with like grammar exercises, but it's not good. But then I found this like Learn It Yourself, like I don't know, it promises to teach you French in 6 weeks. That sounds questionable honestly, but you know, for me it's more like I want to like, what's the word? Oh my god, I'm blanking. Like I used to know French at least a little bit, and I just want to get back to my old level. So it's just I have a lot of passive knowledge still, I think. Like often I'll recognize things like, oh, I remember that word. So I'm hoping that this book is going to do that and help me, and hopefully quicker than 6 weeks, because my library loan is not 6 weeks. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully work through this a bit quicker. It's also supposed to do like 1 lesson a day, but the first few that I did were quite short, so I'm just gonna try to squeeze in a few more. But I don't know, it's like French is not actually I don't know why I'm suddenly practicing French again. I'm such a like, I don't know, someone who just does whatever they're in the mood for. Like it's the same with my reading, I just read whatever I'm in the mood for. And I don't know, it was not my plan at all to do French this year, but I don't know, we'll see what happens, I guess. Then I wrote down a few goals for reading. I would like to read a German book and a Swedish book, and I think the Swedish book is going to be this one, An Early Harvest by Annika Thore, which is a children's book that has to do with the Second World War. I've also mentioned this in my like reading goals videos for 2020, so I think that's going to be this one. The German book, I'm not really sure yet, I'll see. And I also have another Swedish book that I want to finish, because I started this one for my Swedish course. We read about half of it and I would like to finish it. It's not really, I don't know, it's interesting, it's not really the type of book what I would normally pick, but it's a really like it's really easy to read, so this shouldn't really take me too long to finish. And then I would also like to read this. It's already a magazine, I guess. Like, I don't know. It looks like a magazine, but then it has like chapters, and it's not really like laid out as a magazine. I don't know. But yeah, this is about Vikings, and it's in Danish, and I'm not like actively studying Danish, but I don't know. I saw this when I was in Denmark, and I just picked it up because I don't know. I find Vikings super interesting anyway, but also it was just really. It always fascinates me like how easy it is to understand like other Scandinavian languages when you know one of them at least a little. Like I can read most of this cover even though I haven't studied any of these words, so that's, I don't know, like I'm not 100% sure, but like this sounds like everything about science, myths and reality, Vikings, brutal warriors and fantastic merchants. Vikings, I'm not sure about this. Not ships, I guess. I don't know. Secrets behind the success. The bloodthirsty Hilde. Not sure about the last word. Harold Hardrada, that's just someone's name. And Eric Bloodaxe. They stood on skis, and I don't know, it sounds like shooting, but this one I'm not sure. Mother tended to the garden when father was fighting in the war. The Vikings also wrote poetry. It's like, it takes a while, but I can definitely read this. I already read like 2 chapters or so, like back in the summer, so it's been a while, but yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, and should be readable. I also wrote down that I want to read a French comic, and I'm not sure why I wrote down a comic. I think mostly because like a whole novel in French sounds very intimidating, but I don't actually have any new comics in French, I think, so I'm gonna have to find one or just try to read a novel in French, but I don't know, that's just we'll see. Maybe, I don't know, like I feel like I can actually understand things in French at the moment, like my level isn't great, but maybe I can read a very easy book again, who knows. And then I have like a couple of goals for Faroese. I'm working on this like online course on Faroese online. I actually haven't done anything with it in months, I think. Maybe last in September, like, or in the summer or something. But it was a really nice course, and I just would like to finish it. I don't think it should take me that long, and I think I did like 2/3 of it. But I would also like to start my Faroese textbook, Välkommen. I flipped through it, but I haven't really started it. It's completely in Faroese, so that's going to be interesting, but a lot of the words, not all of them, it's not as easy as it is to read Danish, but I can definitely somewhat understand of what's going on, so I'm going to try to see if this is going to be useful, because I don't know, I think this was used in not really for self-studying, so I don't know how good it's going to be for self-studying, but there isn't that much, there just aren't that many resources for Faroese out there, so I was just really excited when I saw this one, and I'm just going to try it out. If it's not really great for self-studying, then that's fine, I'll try something different. I would also like to read a short book in Faroese, and I have 2 others, I think, but I would like to read this one because this one is the shortest, honestly. The pronunciation I'm not sure about anymore. Kopakonon, I don't think it sounds like that, but I think it means the seal woman, and I think it's kind of like a myth or something. Already flipped through it and tried to read some parts. I could understand some sentences, but definitely not all of it. But very short, and as you can see, like, it has a lot of images and not a lot of text, so it should not take that long to read, I think. And as I said, like, I've tried to read it a little bit, but I just want to like read it properly and like figure out any words that I don't understand and stuff like that. And then I have 2 other random goals, and those are to make 4 videos in Swedish and to write in my language diary at least 10 times. And that's kind of when I ran out of space in like the section in my bullet journal, and I just stopped with making goals. So as I said, it's not very organized, but these are just some of the things that at the moment I would really like to do. And to be honest, I don't really care that much if like I do exactly like these things as I wrote them down. I don't know, writing them down make me really excited again, and that's what I like. I don't know, I do this for fun, and it's not really that important if I get to a certain language first or another one. I just want to do what I enjoy doing. So, well, this was a very random and messy video, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and let me know in the comments if you've also set yourself some language goals, and those can definitely be as random as mine, but definitely let me know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!